What is the original jurisdiction of India's Supreme Court? In this video, we delve into the intricacies of India's Supreme Court, exploring the concept of original jurisdiction and its significance in the country's legal framework. The Supreme Court plays a vital role in upholding the Constitution and ensuring that legal disputes are resolved in the best interest of the public. With its unique powers of judicial review, the court has the authority to intervene in high-profile cases that have far-reaching implications for the nation. But what exactly is the original jurisdiction of India's Supreme Court, and how does it differ from its appellate jurisdiction? Join us as we dive into the world of court functions, judicial insights, and constitutional law to uncover the answers. By understanding the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the legal system in India and the important role that the judiciary plays in shaping the country's legal landscape. Hi, I am Advocate Dr. Saurabh Kapoor, bringing you a video on this fascinating topic like this. But before you start watching this video, I request you to kindly like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to my YouTube channel. To view videos like this more, please leave a comment below, telling your thought and idea about this video and future videos you want. Kindly share this video with your friends, family, and social groups to spread this knowledge. Join me as I dive into the complexities of India's Supreme Court and challenge myself to explain its original jurisdiction in just 5 minutes. The concept of original jurisdiction is a crucial aspect of India's Supreme Court, and it's essential to understand its significance in the judiciary system. In simple terms, original jurisdiction refers to the Supreme Court's power to hear cases directly, without needing to go through lower courts. This means that the Supreme Court has the authority to take up specific cases from the very beginning, without waiting for them to be decided by lower courts. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is vital because it allows for the resolution of high-stakes disputes and conflicts that have far-reaching implications for the country. This jurisdiction is not limited to just criminal cases, but also extends to civil matters that have national importance. By having the power to take up such cases directly, the Supreme Court ensures that justice is delivered efficiently and effectively. In India's constitutional framework, the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is enshrined in Article 131, which deals with the court's power to hear disputes between the Government of India and one or more states. This provision recognizes the Supreme Court as the ultimate arbiter in disputes that involve the federal structure of the country. Over time, the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has evolved to encompass a broader range of cases, including those related to fundamental rights, constitutional validity, and public interest litigation. Many people often misunderstand the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, thinking it's limited to only certain types of cases, but that's not entirely true. The reality is that the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction is much more extensive than what most people think. For instance, did you know that the court can hear cases involving disputes between the Government of India and one or more states, or between the Government of India and any state on one side and one or more states on the other side? Another common misconception is that the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction is limited to only constitutional matters. However, the court can also hear cases that involve non-constitutional matters, such as disputes related to commercial contracts, intellectual property, and even election petitions. Understanding the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is crucial for citizens because it has a direct impact on how justice is delivered in India. When citizens understand the court's powers and limitations, they can better navigate the legal system and seek justice more effectively. In fact, the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has been exercised in several landmark cases that have shaped India's legal landscape. For instance, in the 1973 case of Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, the Supreme Court exercised its original jurisdiction to declare that the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution is not unlimited. Additionally, the Supreme Court has also used its original jurisdiction to issue directions to the government on matters of public importance, such as environmental protection and human rights. In the 1996 case of MC Mehta versus Union of India, the court exercised its original jurisdiction to issue directions to the government to control pollution and protect the environment. Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, which deals with the right to constitutional remedies, is another important provision that falls under the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. This provision allows citizens to directly approach the court for the enforcement of their fundamental rights. In exercise of its original jurisdiction, the Supreme Court has also heard cases related to election disputes, particularly those involving the election of the President and Vice President of India. For instance, in the 1974 case of Nani Palkhiwala versus Union of India, the court exercised its original jurisdiction to hear a petition challenging the election of the President of India. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has also been exercised in cases involving disputes between tribunals and the government. For example, in the 1993 case of L. Chandra Kumar versus Union of India, the court exercised its original jurisdiction to declare that tribunals are subject to the jurisdiction of the high courts. Furthermore, the Supreme Court has also used its original jurisdiction to hear cases related to service matters, especially those involving the armed forces. In the 1982 case of Union of India versus S.B. Vora, the court exercised its original jurisdiction to hear a petition challenging the promotion of an army officer. The original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court has also been exercised in cases involving disputes between the central government and state governments. For instance, in the 1994 case of State of Maharashtra versus State of Karnataka, the court exercised its original jurisdiction to hear a dispute between the two states over the sharing of river waters. Notable examples of the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction include the 1980 case of Minerva Mills, LDTDVS, Union of India, where the court declared that the constitutional validity of a law can be challenged under Article 32. Another example is the 2007 case of Ayarquelo versus State of Tamil Nadu, where the court exercised its original jurisdiction to declare that the state governments do not have the power to appoint judges to the high courts. Let's take a closer look at Article 131 of the Indian Constitution, which deals with the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. This provision recognizes the Supreme Court as the ultimate arbiter in disputes that involve the federal structure of the country. One of the most significant cases that exemplify the impact of original jurisdiction on the justice system in India is the 1973 case of Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala. In this case, the Supreme Court exercised its original jurisdiction to declare that the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution is not unlimited. This landmark judgment has had far-reaching implications for India's constitutional framework and has been cited in numerous cases since then. The importance of the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction cannot be overstated. It has played a vital role in shaping India's legal landscape and has ensured that justice is delivered efficiently and effectively. In conclusion, the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is a vital aspect of India's judiciary system, and it's essential to understand its significance and implications. I hope this video has helped you gain a better understanding of this complex topic. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts about the Supreme Court's role, please share them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more insights on the Indian legal system.